Your camera has gone sideways. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Good day, ladies and gentlemen, wherever you are around the world. Welcome to today's special show. I'm your host, Joshua AMATARE, coming to you live from Kyiv. Hope you're having a very good time wherever you are. And hope the coronavirus quarantine has not really, affected you negatively. And instead, you've been able to turn it into a positive. Last week, we had such a unique time here, and the week before that. And today we have a super special guest all the way from my home country of Nigeria that is going to be sharing a very important topic with us today, as well as his own personal story. So please share this video with your friends, share this video with your family, share it on your wall, because what we're going to be talking about today is going to help determine the future of Africa. And we're going to be talking about things that directly influence every single household that is represented on the continent of Africa, not just Nigeria. So invite people that you know are interested in progress. And most people are at home right now anyway because they can't go out due to the quarantine. So please get them on here so they can join us in this special program. So all the way from Nigeria today, we're going to be discussing on the topic of the coronavirus's effect on Nigeria's education. I believe that most of Africa is at home right now. Young people are no longer able to go to schools anymore because everybody has been ordered to stay at home for their safety and for that of their family. Now, we want to talk about what effect it's having on the educational system. And we're going to talk about what Africa has done right and what Africa or what Nigeria needs to do to be able to be properly prepared for this in the future, and to make sure that whenever this comes around or something similar like this comes around, we're better prepared. And also, it should also give us new ideas of how to handle education moving forward so that we can be more efficient, we can teach our young people better, and we can raise a generation of geniuses who will help move Africa into the forefront of the world and make us lead instead of follow, and make us people to be envied instead of people to be pitied. So please invite with me our guest from Nigeria. He goes by the name of OPEIFA OLASUNKANMI. And like you can see on the flyer, he's the 2008 Maltina Teacher of the Year. So he was the best teacher in Nigeria. So when we're talking about education, he knows a lot about it. It's not something that he's just going to theorize. He's not just an ideologue, or it's not something he's just going to talk about theoretically, but he's going to be giving us first-hand information from the inside of what Nigeria is truly about when it comes to education. So hello, OLASUNKANMI, can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you.
Welcome to the
Good
show.
evening,
How are you doing over there in
Nigeria.
Nigeria? Hello?
Hello?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now.
All right.
Thank you for hosting me.
Oh, you're
Good
welcome.
evening.
It's our pleasure having you here. You're a very special guest, and we're pleased to have you on board. So how are you handling the situation over there with the coronavirus quarantine?
Well, it's been a challenging moment. I must tell you, it came suddenly. Nobody can claim that he or she is truly prepared for this, especially teachers and students. As we were
Right.
told that we were ready for coronavirus, we were told that things were uptight, things were strong, they were ready, but suddenly it happened. So coping with it has just been like a sudden thing that many parents, many teachers, all citizens anyway, are just trying to adjust to. So it will surely be a challenging time and period for us this time around.
That's good. Do you think that Nigeria is going to come out of this? Are you optimistic that Nigeria is going to come out of this period better in the educational sector? Or do you think we're going to stay where we are? Or do you think things are going to get worse?
Well, I think what you just said now are just the answers to all the questions. So it all depends on how we handle it. Growing up, I had a philosophy from my fathers, put them all together like that, that it's not wrong for you to fall down. But what is wrong is when you remain there. Even the Bible says the righteous man falleth, and even 7 times. But there's one thing about him, he riseth. However, it's how we handle it now that will determine whether Nigeria will surely come out of it or not. I'm optimistic as a young man in this country. I'm optimistic as a teacher, as a young teacher, as a dynamic teacher, as a 21st century teacher. I am very optimistic that we are going to come out strong. However, from our leaders, from those who are leading us, well, I don't know how ready they are. And for what we have around now, if we continue the same way, I doubt whether something positive surely will come out from their own angle. But for young teachers in this country, I am very optimistic that this thing will work together for us a whole lot of good, and we are coming out strong.
All right, fantastic. You've spoken like a true, champion of the Nigerian education system and somebody who is a leader in that sphere. It shows that you have a vision for the future and you're optimistic. Now, when we come down to what has currently happened, or even before we go into that, you are one of the top 50 in a certain category in the world right now. Can you just talk to us about that and tell us what that's about? Because you're not just the best teacher, or you didn't just win the Best Teacher Award in 2018, but you've also moved on to another award at this point. So can you tell us a little bit about that before we move forward?
Yes. Sometimes last week, coincidentally, anyway, with this coronavirus holiday, on Thursday, last week Thursday, I was named among the top 50 teachers in the world by Vaki Foundation under the prize called Global Teacher Prize. Under the prize called Global Teacher Prize. Wow. So in the world, out of 12,000 applicants from over 140 countries, different teachers were selected. Only 50 were selected. 5 were chosen from Africa. And to God be the glory, I'm representing Nigeria, I'm representing West Africa, and I'm one of the teachers representing Africa.
Wow, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
So did you have to compete for it based on some things you did, or was it just, like you said, coincidental? Because I don't believe things like this come just out of the blue. So there must have been something that went into it. So can you share some of that with us?
Yeah, it actually coincided with the coronavirus holiday.
Okay.
I was named on Thursday, and the holiday came on Friday.
All right.
So we could not even have enough place to celebrate it in our school with the students, with the teachers. That's what I meant by coincidence.
All right.
However, for the application, yes, the application was out sometimes last year, I guess July or August, and teachers all over the world were asked to tell their stories, how they became teachers, their challenging moments in teaching, how they persisted others, their innovative methods, and so many other questions related to their history as teachers. I also applied like every other teacher, and like I told a friend, I actually applied to win. I actually applied to be named among the winners. And sometimes December or January this year, I was told to prepare for an interview, which I did. And that was another range of the competition. And we all waited. And last week, Thursday, I received a congratulatory letter from the foundation that I've been named as the finalist, that's top 50 in the world. And the contest continues. By June, top 10 will also be named. And I pray that I also continue and make it to top 10. And it's also my core desire to be the winner and be the best teacher in the world.
Fantastic. Well, our prayers and our support are with you, and we trust that you would make it all the way by God's grace. So is there anything you have to do before you get there in June, or is just a selection within a board in the organization?
Yes, exactly. We've been selected as top 50. Our entry will be subjected to further scrutiny and assessment again. And from there, the top 10 will emerge.
So it's already out of your hands. There's not much you can do anymore, but just wait, right?
Well, I will still keep on doing my best, keep on doing what I've been doing, do more, encourage more teachers, share the story on social media. I don't know what I can do now particularly. However, I will keep on sharing my stories and keep on doing more for my nation, not to win anyway, but to better education in Nigeria. Because I actually have these children at heart. their future is very important. So it's not even about winning now, but it is left for the judges, for the selection, the team selecting to decide from our stories and for what we do even after now.
All right. Pastor Sunday had you on his show about a year ago or more. That was January last year. So those of you who want to find out about his unique story of how he got into teaching and how he won the initial award in 2018, you can go to that video on Pastor Sunday's YouTube page, Dr. Sunday Adelaja Official, and just type in his name and you would see the video come up there, or just type it on the YouTube search bar and the interview will come up. But for those who didn't see that interview, just in a nutshell, can you tell us how you got into teaching, why you have a passion for it, and you know, what has brought you up onto where you are right now?
Basically, I discovered myself very early, and that is what I tell young people around me, that self-discovery is the key to success in life. I found within me this passion, this urge to always release knowledge, to always share knowledge. Back then, when I was just 8 years old, I used to read a book. I think a serious story book written by, I think, Ilesami or someone. And there were interesting topics there, like family, like public opinion, marriage, and the rest. Anytime I read those topics, I always picture myself teaching my mates, my peers. And from then on, I discovered that I think there's this extra passion in me. Of course, I was very brilliant in school. I ranked first in all my classes, except in primary 1 when I ranked primary 5 when I ranked second. So I wasn't really a dull student the way they put it in Nigeria now, that if you don't score well, that's when you are thrown into the faculty of education. No, I was one of the best in all my school.
Okay.
So but I found this passion in me to always want to teach. And I have all the time a unique way of making things clearer to people. If you don't get it this way, I can turn it again the other way. And it was from that age that I discovered that. I remember when I was in primary 5, the teacher asked us to write about our ambition. Of course, I wrote mine and I had to hide it from my friends. Of course, if you say you want to become a teacher, you start hearing things like you die poor and stuff like that. So I hid it. But when the teacher grabbed it, Mr. Loyede, he read it to the class, applauded me, and I felt encouraged. From then on, I decided to teach. And sincerely, I had my passion to teach the less privileged, those who actually don't have the ability to grasp it, and then their parents don't have the money to pay for extra teachers or private school. I just find it easy to reach out to them. Maybe because I was once like them, maybe because I shared the same environment with them and I understood them growing up. So I find it easy that way. So basically, I can say what really pushed me into teaching was my passion, even as a child. And sincerely, I never wavered at any point. Ask all my friends, except for a few ones I hid it from, I told them from the beginning, I will want to be a teacher. Even a friend was like, of all things, why? I said, no, this is my passion. Of course, many people made jest of me. They called me several names. My father doubted it, that you, with your stature, can you do anything in the classroom? But I remember a particular time, he said, come, you want to be a teacher, don't worry. Take the form, go to teacher's college. You will do. I said, no, I will teach in secondary school. And I also have options of lecturing. But I said, no. These young people around me, they need a very good foundation. Once you can lay it very well for them here, they can be a high flyer. And sincerely, up till now, I have not regretted it. Of course, you can agree with me. I have not regretted it, and it's getting better every day.
Fantastic. It's so encouraging listening to somebody talk so passionately about teaching. And have you seen that there are a lot of people who are like you, or are you just an outlier in your field?
Oh, yes, they are in two categories. Along the line, winning awards, meeting teachers, I found teachers who are like mine, who actually have the passion of these children at heart sincerely, not for the money, not for the awards, not for the name, not for the glory, no. They just want to better education in Nigeria. They are all over the country. They just want to better education in Nigeria. And the truth is, we are forming a strong team. We are forming a big vanguard, and I'm telling people in this country, what will come out of us, those of us that have chosen to come together as teachers all over the country, from Lagos State, from Ogun State, in FCT here, in the next 10 years, you will see a revolution in education, of course, a positive one, where education will be transformed and our children will compete easily across the globe. Because at times I wonder, where do we draw the line between Nigerian children and children outside the country? the gap is still wide now. But I tell you, in the next 10 years, with some of us that have found ourselves and we are moving on, Nigeria will be great with education. That's for the first category. The second category are my students. Suddenly, I discovered that many of them want to teach. Many of them are discovering this within them. They are telling me, of course, every year, I have nothing less than 2 or 3 students that will tell me that he or she chose education, not by force, not by wrong score or lower score. They just want to be like Mr. OPEIFA. They want to be like this teacher. They want to be like that teacher. So I have those 2 categories around me. I'm encouraged, and I believe if we move on together, the more we are going to cause a big change, a positive one in this country.
Very good. I believe that that's going to be the case with your passion and with your understanding and knowledge that you've gathered over time. You've already answered my next question, because I was going to ask you what you think would happen with the general, with the general world of teaching and scholarship when it comes to those who are teachers in high school, in primary schools. I think the universities are a little bit better, staffed, because they are more elite. But then the secondary schools and the primary schools, those are the ones that really need to be focused on now, because like you said, the foundation is very important. But since you've already said you have a coming together, I believe that that is going to help. So now coming back to our topic of today, of the coronavirus issue, what exactly do you think that Nigeria should have done better that it didn't do to prepare for this crisis? Because of course, nobody saw it coming, but there should have been a few things that Nigeria would have done that would have made students to be better off right now at home than they are at this current time. So can you tell us of some of the things that you think Nigeria should have done based on where we are in the 21st century and where Nigeria's standing is even in Africa, that it didn't do right?
Okay, I will answer it in 2 ways too. The general one, and in terms of education, before we delve deep into this our discussion.
All right.
I would say that we didn't see it coming as far as this issue of coronavirus is concerned. Yes, we saw it, that it moved from China. It has started going from country to country, visiting them. We saw it coming. Our leaders told us that yes, we were ready for it. So we actually saw this coming. But I think what we didn't do right in terms of, as far as education is concerned, is preparing for this. Probably they never saw that they would need to close down school. Probably they never saw that the children would be thrown to the streets. And for a week now, exam was not written in most schools. Let me put it that way. Most schools, more than 90% of them, exams were not written there. We saw it coming, but our preparation was weak. And one of the things that could have really saved us is digital literacy. If we had really embraced this as not just an alternative, but as a way of life, that education should not just be that regular teacher comes to school today, they receive lectures, everything analog, report sheet and everything. I think we will have been far ahead of this situation, and Nigeria education will not have been tampered with. Our children will not have felt the heat so much. And I believe if you have just done that well, we really have been afloat as far as the education is concerned. There are a lot of things that needs to be questioned, although I'm not in the place of questioning them. We were told we were ready for this. Suddenly, we had a situation at hand. We were even commended by the WHO that we did well. Alas, in a week, we were running helter-skelter. And students, of course, I was scared. Let me tell you what happened on Friday when I heard of the situation. I just discovered that the assembly was full, and my principal was addressing the students. I saw them, and I was almost shedding tears. And what happened? A day before, I had an interview concerning this global teacher program, and I read it online that as at 25th of July 2019, we had about 16 million out of school children in Nigeria.
That's before the coronavirus outbreak.
Before this outbreak, 16 million out of school children in Nigeria, 16 million.
Wow.
Now, suddenly, on a Friday, we have to send these ones now out. to protect, of course, to protect them, quite all right. Now they are going to the street without any preparation for them, without any hope so much as such. Now, can you quantify the number we have? JAM alone registered close to 2 million candidates. Now, do you know how many were fully in SS3, SS2, SS1, down to primary school? Add this all together. You can imagine what we have on our streets now. I was scared of what we're going to have on Monday morning. Of course, we've not seen the repercussion now. So we have a lot to still do in our hand. We still have a lot to do. And I hope that this will be a big lesson for us as a country.
All right. So you've now made us realize that we need digital literacy. What does that entail? What exactly do you mean by digital literacy? Because I don't think everybody watching understands what that means. So can you break that down for us a little bit before we go forward? What exactly do you mean by digital literacy?
This is 21st century, where learning has gone beyond hardwares, where you need to see your teacher, teach, give you lesson notes. Of course, it's important. The physical contact is very important to build a lot of things in the children. But side by side with this is making use of our devices. Talk of our phones, talk of software, talk of applications online, talk of the computers, the computer age generally, or what we call it now, artificial intelligence, where lesson can still take place and you can still feel the impact of your teacher. Pastor Josh, I'm in Nigeria here now, you are there in Ukraine, and we are communicating. Let's assume I'm your student now. I can pick my pen and start jotting. You are teaching me. This is digital literacy. And that is what we can still have. Yes, we're talking about social distancing. Wow, it can just be best achieved with this. Empower the teacher. Each teacher can have a laboratory. Enter into your laboratory, put one or two gadgets together, and then teach. If you had really empowered the country up to that level, I bet we will not even have any feeling whether there is coronavirus out there or there is any outbreak. Lesson will still continue. I had a program with Microsoft at a point, and I discovered that we can still write exam online and the student will not cheat. The student can still stay at home, they will write this exam, and they will still not cheat, and we will mark it, and they will have their result instantly. Quite what is happening. Thanks to UTME, that's JAM that we write now, the UTME we write, that's organized by Joint Admission and Matriculation Board. It was computer-based, and the result came out immediately. You might imagine we have that in GS1, GS2, GS3, Primary 1, Primary 2, where the students are controlled. We won't have any feeling of whether we are out of school or not. Education will just continue online with our gadgets, and artificial intelligence will just take over temporarily, and then teachers will still do their job fantastically.
So what do you think is the problem? Why do you think Nigeria's high school has not moved into this digital age? Is it that those who in the leadership positions have not cast that vision, or are not working towards that direction? Or what exactly do you think is our problem? Is it a power problem? Is it an infrastructure problem? Is it an intellectual problem? Where exactly are we missing it that in this 21st century, we still don't have digital literacy as something that is a core part of our educational system?
We have a lot of problems in this country. Of course, I remember when I had my interview a year ago, more than a year ago now, when I started advocating for digital literacy like this, one of the comments I read later was that even if we sponsor you and we supply computers to your school, where is power? And that's true. Kudos to Ogun State in Nigeria. As soon as this thing happened, by Monday or Tuesday, their teachers, the essay to the governor, came out and got some teachers who could come to the studio and teach students via the television, even on the website, I mean, different things like that. They have their website as ogundigiclass.ng, and it was doing fine. But I remember a friend commenting that where do we see power to even watch it on TV? Yeah, a fantastic step. However, it's not even getting to the root. It's not getting to the end of it. So that's one problem. Another problem, as you said, is infrastructure. How many homes can afford a laptop? We don't have it like everywhere. Ordinarily, this thing should just be on the street. Those who can afford a laptop, those who can afford a phone, can they actually buy data that can give them access to the internet? And where there is data, do they even have right connection? I know what I'm struggling here now, trying to reach you. As I'm talking to you now, I have more than 2 backup. In case this one misbehaves now, I only need to take 5 minutes from you and I turn to the other one. And God forbid, rain falls as it's threatening now. I may not have any network at all. Of course, this is 21st century. And I think we also need to call our leaders to this, and they need to wake up. This is a big call. This is a big call to them. We need to wake up, and we cannot allow things to be getting at us like this. Look at it now. The Ministry of Communication continues, because to a very large extent, they've been empowered. Nothing should stop education to in line like this, in a situation like this, rather. Nothing should stop education. Interestingly, our students will be writing WACs now in few months if we overcome this situation early. And I want to believe as soon as we resume from this exam starts. Normally, we do revision during this Easter holiday, and the students are at home now. If I even decide to even teach, which I've been doing online, how many students am I reaching? No infrastructure, where we have no power. And when we have all this, do we say they don't have the willpower to do this? But these are the things that are just obtainable everywhere. It will cost nothing if we start small. Have a studio for each school. Invite a teacher to come and teach a topic every day. At least for social distancing, invite biology today, chemistry tomorrow, and we keep on teaching topics like that, and we keep on throwing it there. And this wonderful period, make power available. Let it be available everywhere. Our megawatts, this is time now to increase it so that people can have reasons to even stay at home. To stay at home, no power. Of course, you'll be tempted to go out there, to go and mix up. Of course, because of your life anyway, you think twice now to stay at home. If we wake up to all these things, I believe a lot will be achieved.
All right, that's a very succinct answer. And you said 12 million kids are out of school now. Am I right? Those are
16 million.
16, right?
Yes.
16 million. And we've also found out that about 10.5 million, by estimate, are those who are in school. So that means right now, so that means right now we have approximately maybe 26.5 or 27 million young people who are at home at this point. So can you tell us of some of the vices that you see that due to our lack of preparation, due to our lack of infrastructure, what are some of the vices that you're concerned about that these kids might get into being at home?
A lot of them. Let me answer the question in this way. We failed this generation again. We failed them again. They may not even realize it now. One, the subtle effect of this on them is what I will start with. Remember, we were told that we were prepared for coronavirus. You see, everybody, yes, we were fully prepared. And suddenly it came on us, and we see where we are today now. There's what we call hidden curriculum. That is what you don't intend to teach, but people learn. Now, the intention is to say we are prepared.
Sorry, come again. What do you call it? Hidden curriculum?
Hidden curriculum, yes.
All
hidden
right.
Curriculum.
Okay.
In school, I enter the class and I dress this way. I don't intend to teach corporate dressing in my classroom, but the students had learned that.
All right.
So the government or the leaders actually would not have prepared to tell the students or the children that when we say things, don't take us for our word. But that is exactly what they have passed across to them, and it's a pity. Because the children now have learned now either to accept, to trust, or to mistrust. That is one hidden thing that has been sown into their life, and it will go a long way to affect them. Imagine they become leaders tomorrow. They'll actually just know that all we just want to do is just to come out there and say it. For how long do we continue like this?
And even before they become leaders, they wouldn't trust authority anymore because they've seen them being dishonest.
That is just it. And that is dangerous for our education. It's dangerous for me as a teacher. As an elder in their classrooms, I enter their classroom, I tell them, I'm going to mark your script tomorrow. They can just smile and say, if Mr. OPEIFA does not mark it, we will understand. He won't be the first person to promise and fail.
Wow.
And if they grow up, if they also promise me that, Uncle, we will submit our assignment tomorrow, and they don't submit, of course, I shouldn't flog them. We train them to be that. We train them to be this. So that is one hidden effect in them now. If we don't know that one yet, we can see it by the time we resume school. Another thing that I can see that has happened now, which we also in them, is misinformation. And this happened from our churches and from the society, where a pastor came and was saying that he had corrosive anointing, that corona should come to those jargons. Is dangerous for education. What has corrosive whatever of chemistry got to do with corona? I mean, I still can't wrap my head around that statement anyway, so let me just drop it there. So they just believe that anybody can come and rhyme. Anybody can come and rhyme. Once it sounds sweet, you become hey, hey. So you can imagine the chunk of leaders we are throwing out because of our misinformation. Another thing that is dangerous there that we have also done is this misinformation that coronavirus could not affect Africans. I don't know whether you heard of that.
Oh, yeah.
That no African, you did.
Yeah.
That Africans were immune to this, don't worry. And including me, I came out to believe it too. We're everywhere. That come coronavirus, our son here, our solar power, we burn you to ashes. Well, I don't think I can come out to say that anymore now.
Oh, wow.
That's misinformation on the part of our leaders. So who did they trust? So they believe that we can just go out there and create myths together, concoct myths together, and turn it into knowledge. What a dangerous one. And the last one I'm going to talk about, the subtle effects of this on our children, is when our leaders came out and they asked us to go for self-isolation. You told us we were prepared. Now you told us you're on your own. We can't wrap our head around that. You told us we are prepared for this. Then the next thing is that you are hearing, if you are coming from a country that's affected, or you have had a contact with somebody that's coming from a country that's affected, go on self-isolation. Sir, this is a country where even when you live in a duplex where everybody has a room, we still like this communal life where everybody, I want to stay in my brother's room today. I want to stay with grandma tomorrow. My uncle just came back from Canada. I want to stay with him. And before you know it, we spread it. And you're talking about isolation. That is the subtle effect on the children. And you can imagine the psychological effect in the nearest future. I wouldn't know whether I'm permitted to continue.
Yeah, go ahead.
Talk about, okay. The current effect now, which will lead to all the vices we are talking about, is that the school is shut down, closed down, practically, is real. Now, the calendar has been truncated. We cannot have this anymore. By the time we resume third term now, for those who are not writing exam, that if we resume in May, we are going to start with examination. 2 or 3 weeks will be lost. In the 12 weeks we are going to have for third term, we will need to rush this knowledge again. Trust me, if they don't get the knowledge elsewhere, that will be the end. Now, compare our children with the children that have embraced digital literacy, and lesson is still going on now. And this is global village where they are at par now. Imagine my child now has to leave this country to go to one of those countries. And what he's supposed to learn is solar power, for instance. He gets there, and because of the holiday, no solar power in his brain. He gets there, and then he's looking like a stranger. That's one of the effects of what has happened. Our calendar is thrown away. We can't cover the syllabus anymore. And we don't have any plan for these children. Today now, parents are struggling with their children. Go on social media now. You can hear parents shouting, when will Corona go? We need to return the children to school. They are struggling with their children there. And finally, on that area, is what we are going to have on our street: thuggery, drug abuse, and unwanted pregnancy. I bet you cannot tame these teenagers. You can't tame them enough. After 1 week now, they are crying. They want to go out. Go on Twitter, go on Facebook. You can hear the children saying, we stayed at home. My mother said we should come and pray. We're organizing 24 hours prayer now. I am tired. Now, this is 1 week. Second week, do you know what is happening? The school has tamed them to an extent. When they come from school from 8 o'clock to 4 o'clock, we hold them down. We give them assignments. Life moves on like that until they realize the effect of some of these dangerous things they are doing. But now they are out there. No caution, no training. Some parents cannot even handle their children. Trust. We may not know what we are into now. Like a friend said 2 days ago, until after 9 months, when you see the effect. God forbid that the population that will increase will be a result of unwanted pregnancy as a result of the fact that parents cannot tame their teenagers anymore. I entered into my school compound today and I saw some children playing volleyball. Those are the ones that wanted to play volleyball. One of those who have sneaked out into 1 or 2 vices there. What of those who have sneaked out to go and organize drugs, especially in those poor rural areas? They have nothing else to do. All they just want to do is just to be high and just to feel good because they are bored. Nothing is interesting anymore, no light. So the effect is just numerous. So I just end that aspect with this, that there's this popular adage that an idle mind is the devil's workshop. And you can know what the devil can do in the heart of these teenagers. This is the time for them to experiment. But do you know what? We can still take advantage of this situation and make them do a lot.
That's very well said. And the next phase or the next group I want to focus on, you've already mentioned them, but just in passing, is the parents.
Okay.
What are you going to say to parents at this time who are struggling, like you said? A lot of them are struggling with their kids and they don't know what to do because they've not had to deal with them for this period of time. Many of them, even during the summer, they send them off to their uncles, to their aunties. They send some of them back to the village and they just go on walking, you know. So what are you going to say to the parents right now who are battling with their kids? And what do you think they should learn from this period going forward that would help them to be better parents, help their kids to be better educated, and set them up for a better future? Because many parents believe that all they have to do is just provide food and education, and that's it. The teachers will do the rest, or the church will do the rest. But I think in this period, God is trying to make them, you know, see things a little bit differently. So from your educational perspective, what will you do to, or what will you tell the parents at home right now?
Well, parents at home, let me greet you first and say, well done. Our markets.
They're having a taste of what you, the teachers, go through every day in school.
Honestly, you know, interestingly, some of them will come to school to even fight us.
Oh, wow.
Why did you beat my child? Why did you shout at my child? Didn't you mark? Why didn't you give the assignment? Why didn't you do this? And I think they can respond now. Our markets. I believe it's interesting.
By the time this is over, they'll have a renewed appreciation for what you guys do, I believe.
I believe they will. I believe they will. A friend of mine posted on our group chat on WhatsApp how her daughter, I think age 5, broke something in the house. And we're like, oh, sorry, friend. Sorry, friend. Now, those are the things they are facing now. Many of them have shouted now and they are even tired. But let me tell you, parents, congratulations. Sincerely. This is an opportunity for you to know your child very well. This is an opportunity for you to be that proud parent that you are supposed to be. You are not going to work, not that your child is at home. This is an opportunity for you to bond with your child now and then be that super mother and that super father. So that not all the time that teenagers and children will see their teachers as the hero. They give us thumbs up, they appreciate us more. They come to us and confide in us. This is the time now for you to now call them and say junior, and say, mention their name, come closer. Tell me about your friend. Tell me about your school. So it's an opportunity for parents to know their children more. It's an opportunity for them to bond the more. It's an opportunity for father to stay at home. Of course, if you're to be ordinarily leave holiday now, most male parents will not stay at home with friends. But you have been forced now to stay at home with your children. So let me advise you. Have a timetable. You may not be used to it. That's what we do in school. That's why it is easy for us. Have a timetable. As a father, I wake up by 7 o'clock now. I wake my boys by 7 o'clock, and we go around a nearby school, and we jog around the school field. I jog around the school field with them once. Of course, they are still young, and I return home. Today, I couldn't do it because I will be preparing for this program. And my wife said, no, I would like to join you today. I said, oh, sorry. We are on holiday also, like every other person. So on Monday, we continue. Oh, tomorrow is Sunday, no church. So we are still going to jog tomorrow. You can do that with your children. Just jog around your estate, jog around your compound. If you don't want to go out, stay within your parlor. Do little exercise with them. Have some fun. Laugh with them. So then for another timetable, in your timetable again, you can talk about cooking. Your child that cannot learn how to, that doesn't know how to cook, teach him or her now how to cook. Some house chores that they cannot do, this is an opportunity to do that. This is an opportunity to do all those extra curriculum that you are doing in the school. Then it's time for you to show them God. It's enough that pastors are the ones teaching us all this. Open the Bible for them and let them learn about God. You can also get their books and set exams for them. You can also reach out to their friends on Facebook too. Know what they are doing. make it interesting for them, okay, and get used to it. I bet if after 1 week, you two will start finding fun in it. So that by the time we resume this holiday, whatever time, you will know you are a successful father and you have really contributed to the life of your children. And there are a lot more you can still do with them. And I can add, you can watch movies with them too. You can't go out. Yes, download them now and watch with them, laugh with them, play with them, know your child more. And I know you get better.
That's great. I'm sure a lot of parents will be very grateful to you at this point because you might be saving them a lot of heartbreak and a lot of stress due to the fact that they didn't know what to do with their kids. So what you said is very important, to help keep them going and to build a system around the learning process of their kids right now and to also teach them self-sufficiency. Like you said, teach them to cook, teach them to do house chores. Most of the kids these days don't know how to do those things because of our 21st century way of life. Many of them are used to nannies, they're used to their parents taking care of them, but if they understand how to take care of themselves right now, those are skills that they would have for the rest of their lives. So my next question to you is this. Since you said that we have all these challenges and you have all of these problems that the educational system has, if you were to talk to Adamu, I believe he's the guy who is the Minister of Education in Nigeria right now, what are some of the things that you would tell him to implement, even right now that we are in quarantine? Because he has the power of the federal government behind him. And like you said, our kids are already lagging behind, even on a good day in Nigeria, because we've not been able to be progressive enough. We are lagging behind the rest of the world. And now that we're in this quarantine period, it's even getting worse because other kids are still learning digitally while our own kids are not. So what are some of the things that you think that the Nigerian government can do to help kids and to make them, to at least not have the worst of this situation, but be able to get something out of it at least?
Yeah, thank you. I believe and I hope, I pray. Okay.
Go ahead, I can hear you.
You can hear me? Okay, I can see the screen still moving. All right, I hope and I believe that the Honorable Minister of Education, Malam Adamu, will see this one day before the end of this holiday.
Hello? I think we've lost him briefly. So while we try to get him back, please share this with as many people as possible. Like you can see, he's giving us a lot of ideas and he's giving us a lot of insight into the effect of the coronavirus on the Nigerian education system. And it's not just Nigeria, it's Africa as a whole. And you can see that he's giving us a little bit of insight into how kids can be well raised by their parents during this time. Build a timetable, exercise with your kids, teach them self-sufficiency, get them some of the books that we have. And like you can see, the Nigerian economy, the way forward, the book on the screen right now, this is a book that anybody who reads will suddenly develop a passion for Nigeria and for the future of Nigeria. So reading with your kids will also help them in this period to not only get better at reading, but to begin to have a patriotic mindset, a solution mindset that will make them not just to be citizens looking for handouts from the government, but they will be people who will help to move the country forward and become innovative and creative thinkers. Nigeria is going to be moved, or Nigeria is going to be bettered, or Africa is going to be bettered by the young people that we have today in our schools. So please get them some of these books and read them. Even you yourself, you should read some of these books because it will go a long way to help you. So share this with as many people as possible because this would help them to become better people and to make them to become better citizens who will not just complain about the problems of the country, but they will be able to have solutions to those problems. So he has raised a lot of points and he has talked about how kids are truant, how kids are bored, but I can assure you that if you build a solid system around your kids, there will be no boredom at this time. Please give us the next book to this one, Nigeria and the Economy. All right, so this is Nigeria and the Leadership Question. This book can be gotten on Amazon and you can get them also on dsasbooksplanet.com. That website is strictly for those in Africa, especially Nigeria. You'll be able to get the book delivered to you even during this period. So this is Nigeria and the Leadership Question. A lot of people blame leadership for Nigeria's problem. A lot of people blame our leaders. But the moment you read this book, you begin to understand that not everything in Nigeria is about leadership. Every single person has to take responsibility for their lives. And as an individual, you are important. You might be one of 200 million, but whatever you do impacts the nation as a whole. So it helps to change our mentality from just relying on the all-powerful leader that we hope for to beginning to take responsibility for the everyday life and well-being of ourselves, our families, our communities, and then it cascades and has a ripple effect on the nation as a whole. The next book, please. Yeah, Only God Can Save Nigeria, What a Myth. This is a book that is anti-religious. You know, we're very religious people in Nigeria. We believe a lot in prayer. We believe a lot in God. You know, 50% or about that of the nation, 48 or 46% are Christians. The other 45 or 48% are Muslims. So we're a very religious nation and we believe so much in God. But for years, we've just been praying and we believe that God is going to perform some kind of miracle to help raise Nigeria out of the doldrums. But this book is going to help you to see that as much as God has a role to play, we have an even bigger role to play because nations are built by men and they're not built by God. So we have to be able to read this, to get this book, read it, and transform our way of thinking if Nigeria is going to become a better nation. We've been praying for a while now, and it seems things are even getting worse instead of getting better. So when you read this book, you will not only understand why that is the case, but you understand what to do and how to go about making Nigeria a better place as an individual and not just looking up to God helplessly like you know, somebody who has no answers. Next book, please. All right, so we're still trying to reconnect with our guest, and for some reason, like he said, he has issues with the internet, and he said he already predicted it, that if rain was going to fall, he might not be able to continue due to his data issues. So I'm just going to be recapping on some of the things that he said. We have about 27 million young people out there today in Nigeria who are without education. And our Minister of Education, Adamu, was who he was about to address before his network went off. So all of these young people need help. So I will implore, you know, every single person who is an adult that help a child at this point in time, you know, to find themselves. Get them a book like Who Am I? Why Am I Here? So that they can self-discover who they are. One of the things that made OLASUNKANMI who he is that he was lucky enough to discover a passion in himself at a young age, and a teacher was able to push him to follow his passion of teaching, even if it was uncommon, and now he's the best that the country has to offer, and he's now going internationally to represent the nation, and he's almost one of those who is going to be winning. So we need to discover ourselves as young people, and that is something that every single person needs to do. And surprisingly, there are a lot of adults. I've been to a lot of HMTs here with Pastor Sunday, where you will see people who are in their 40s, in their 50s, some of them in their 60s, yet they don't know who they are. They've not taken time to discover themselves, and due to that, you know, they've been frustrated. They're tired of life. They've not been able to live productive lives. They've not been able to live fulfilled lives. Some of them are even well-to-do, but there's no satisfaction because without discovering who you are and doing what it is that God put you in this world for, you will just live a frustrated life. Nothing is going to be interesting to you. You will make all the money in the world. You might live in a nice house, drive a cool car, but you will not be able to, you know, really have fulfillment in yourself. So we must use this opportunity to discover ourselves, help our kids discover themselves so they don't pursue careers because of money, they don't pursue careers because of fame or societal status, but they pursue it because they genuinely feel called. They genuinely feel a passion and a leading to go into that sphere to make a difference. And that will change everything, because I've never seen anybody who is as passionate as teaching, passionate about teaching, like OLASUNKANMI, for example, and because of that, he's able to make a difference in that field. So imagine if we have, you know, 1 million of his kind in education, we have 1 million of his kind in politics, we have 1 million of his kind in medicine, we have 1 million of his kind in civil engineering, 1 million of his kind in nursing, 1 million of his kind in astronomy. We would have a civilized society in the shortest period of time. But instead, we have a lot of people who are doing things that are not what they were called to do. So they just do it for the money. And at the end of the day, they're left frustrated and they don't, you know, maximize what that field is really about. So Nigeria, Africa, we need to discover who we are as individuals. And with that, we'll be able to become better people. And to God's glory, we'll build a more cohesive and a more pleasurable society for everybody to live in and enjoy. So I think we have Sukanmi back now with us. And we're happy that he was able to figure out his internet connection. So hello, OLASUNKANMI, are you back?
I am back. Thank you. Wow, it was a battle.
Fantastic. Thank you very much for winning that battle for us, because we were really looking forward to hearing what you have to say to Adamu, and I'm sure the future Adamus as well would be listening, and that will really go a long way to help Nigeria's educational sector. So please go ahead and tell us what you think can be done by the government to further and help the young people who are out there out of school now to come back better, or at least not fall too far behind where they need to be.
All right. Basically, I just want a situation where I would desire a situation where, I believe you can hear me.
Yeah, I can hear you. Go ahead.
A situation where teachers will be called at federal level now, and then we take advantage of our National Television Authority, the NTA, and then we reach out to students. And this is just for 1 hour every day. We can drop an assignment there and give them our website where they can throw the question. And I believe there are 1,001 teachers in this country who are willing to do it and do it well. Of course, we talk about the incentive if it is there, but I bet it that the passion in the heart of the teachers is still there, and we are willing to come out and still continue education at its best. I was citing an example of what Ogun State is doing, and I want to really sound it loud and clear. They have really led the train in this. And so that this thing happened, I think it was on Tuesday, a friend told me there from Ogun State that this is what they are doing, is the one championing it now, is the one on the website, he built the website instantly. You know what? I have to quickly pick the website, and I started sharing it with some of my students. I shared it on my Facebook too. While we are still waiting for other states to do the same, thank God it's all over. We can still learn. Now, you know, the reason why I cannot really subscribe to the fact that students will go online and go and learn is because the curriculum of other countries is not the same thing as our curriculum. The way they are teachers teach chemistry is actually not the way my teacher will teach me chemistry in Nigeria.
True.
So it is very important for Nigerian teachers to put content together on our national TVs, on our website, and teach it in Nigerian way. One of my philosophies is this: if they cannot learn the way you teach, then you teach them the way they learn. Our students in Nigeria have their own special way of learning, and we teachers will know how to get there. So give the opportunity out for us. Make the facilities available. At least for now, there should be emergency declared in education.
Hello? Wow, I think we've lost him again. But in the meantime, please share this with your friends and help save a struggling family right now who don't know what to do with their kids at home. So yeah, like he started saying, there has to be flexibility in the way things are taught, and we can maximize the power of at least the television right now. And he said Ogun State has begun to lead the way, and they're trailblazers in that regard. That's just one state out of 36. So let's hope that somebody from all the other states in government is listening to this, and they'll be able to put their own television airways to work, because if they can do that, it will go a very long way to help the young generation to figure out what to do with their time, and it will help them not to fall too far behind, because at this point, there is no cure for the coronavirus. Nobody knows when there's going to be a cure for it. Nobody knows when it's going to be safe to go outside. So we don't know if this is going to last for 1 month, for 2 months, for 3 months. Here in Ukraine, the quarantine was supposed to be over on the 3rd of April, but it just got extended to the 24th of April. And everybody is still hopeful. In the US, they still don't know when they're going to be able to get back to work and tell other people to go, and when it's going to be safe to tell people to go outside. Although they are ahead and they have digital learning. And most of our leaders in Nigeria, they have their kids abroad. I hope they will be able to implement some of the things that they see their kids enjoying abroad in Nigeria their home country, because whatever is obtainable anywhere else in the world, we can replicate. We don't have to reinvent the wheel. If abroad there is digital learning, in Nigeria, we can make use of that as well. And the coronavirus, this coronavirus quarantine should be it should help to push us into the 21st century, to force us out. Problems are usually, a sign that we need to change the way things have been done. So this coronavirus quarantine has exposed a very big weakness in Nigeria that we need to look at and, figure out for ourselves how we want to move forward. If we have digital learning, we'll be better off for it, and, we wouldn't have much problems. So do we have him back? Yeah, we've still lost OLASUNKANMI due to the network in Nigeria. So, all right. While we still try to get him back, we still have a few minutes. If you're out there and you want to call in and you want to share your own experience or you want to contribute to what you've heard, please go to Move Agents Matic on Facebook Messenger. Just write and say you want to call in, and we will call you back and give you a chance to join the conversation. So let's recap. Part of the things that he said was that parents can, at this point in time, help to bond with their children and help to set examinations for them at home, which means that parents have to become the teachers to their kids at this point in time. Take their textbooks, begin to go through it with them. I remember some of the fun memories I had with my dad when he taught me things like maths and, higher mathematics and things like that. I was astonished that at his age, he was still able to remember a lot of complex formulas in higher maths that at the time I could not even figure out in further mathematics. So please use this time to teach your kids things, set examinations and tests for them so that they stay mentally sharp. They don't completely disconnect from the school system and just go about, destroying themselves and coming up with a lot of evil. Because like he said, or like the saying commonly goes, an idle mind is the devil's workshop. When kids are bored, I can tell you we were all young ones, and we know how destructive we were when we were bored. Very few of us are proud of the things we did when our lives had no purpose. So please engage your kids with as much as they can right now so that they are well versed in the curriculum that they have been given by the school when they get back from these holidays, whenever that is going to be. So that's one of the things he said. Also, he talked about the moral aspect. He said a lot of them are going to go into drugs. He was concerned about drug addiction and, premarital sex and things like that. These are things that we have to watch out for as parents, as guardians, as friends. We have to look out for these young people to make sure that they don't make mistakes that are going to be devastating. Kids should not be having kids. We have to put our attention on these young people at this time to make sure that they don't make destructive mistakes, because if they begin to bring babies into this world, it can derail their education, it can derail their future, and it can cause the destruction of the destiny of both their lives and that of the kids they're going to bring into this world. So please do as much as you can, parents, guardians, friends, neighbors, to encourage young people to be more productive at this time, to pick up new hobbies, to pick up books, to pick up different things that would keep them busy, instead of engaging in things like premarital sex or trying drugs or trying out things that would only destroy them. Because if they come back from this holiday and in 9 months they begin to give birth, that is not going to be good for anybody, both for the nation and for those kids as well. I think we have Sukomi back now. Hello, sir. Can you hear me?
Hello. Thank you. I'm so sorry.
Hello? Are you back?
Hello?
Oh, fantastic.
I'm back.
Did it start raining?
Thank you. I'm so sorry. Oh, threatening seriously, but breeze is blowing, and probably it has blown off the network.
Aha, okay. But thank God you've been able to figure it out and you're back now. Hello? Hello, are you there?
Thank you. Hello.
Aha, all right. I think you're back now, because for a second there you froze, but I think you're back.
Okay.
All right. So you were talking
Poor
to us
network.
about you were talking to us about how the TV can be utilized to teach kids and how the government can put some of its facilities to work to help the young people. So do you want to continue with that?
Yes. Once they can put all those in together,
All right.
once they can put it together and teachers are invited to teach, at least for students are going to be writing WAEC now. I think in preparation next time, in 3 areas. 1, in facility. 2, we are the teachers and inclined.
Hello, you're
So
breaking
many
up.
of us are still.
Hello. Hello, hello, hello.
Hello.
Hi, you were breaking up. I couldn't hear
Hello.
you. Hi. He was breaking up, and I don't think we were really hearing what he was saying. Hello, OLASUNKANMI, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Aha, all right, fantastic. We couldn't really hear what you were saying because you were really breaking up, but I think it's better now.
Okay.
Okay, please go
Okay.
ahead. Please start from the top again, telling us what it is that you said about having teachers daily coming in to teach.
Okay. We can organize the government can organize a situation where teachers can visit a studio
All right.
and then teach, and it will be broadcast live or recorded and then shown later to students at a particular time. Today is mathematics, tomorrow is chemistry, biology, like that. At least to a very large extent, we will have salvaged the situation. We won't have all our students just there. Now, we now need to go focus on those who don't have television. We don't want to go there now, but at least those who have TV in the house, to an extent now, can still be reached, and the rest can be placed on the internet, maybe YouTube, on Facebook, where the students can actually learn.
Yeah, I can hear you.
1 minute, please. Let me connect a stronger network.
All right. So just to amplify what it is that he said we can utilize the radio houses, we can utilize the television, and teachers should be brought into the studio to teach subjects. Like on Monday, they could teach biology. On Tuesday, they could teach chemistry. On Wednesday, they could teach mathematics. On Thursday, they could teach economics. And that would help the kids every day to have something to look forward to and to have something to keep them engaged, and to also make sure that the curriculum that they're supposed to have covered over this period of time is being covered. So we hope that government officials are listening. We hope that people who are connected to them are listening in different states of Nigeria and in different states, all over Africa. Make use of the television to make sure that our kids are well educated at this time and not completely left behind. Because if every day there is something that they have to look forward to, there's a teaching, there are lectures that they have to look forward to, the teachers will be happy that they are not completely cut off from the students, and the students as well will be happy that they have something to work with at this very dire time, and to help to get their minds off destructive habits and even the coronavirus itself. A lot of people are living in fear. Some people are committing suicide just because of the fear of coronavirus. A lot of people are panicking. They're developing things like depression. But we don't have time for that in Africa. We need to be able to move forward. We cannot afford to keep falling behind the rest of the world. So please share this video with as many people as you can. Our leaders need to make use of our television, our radio airwaves to educate kids so that they are not left behind at this time. Hello, OLASUNKANMI, are you back? He's not back, okay. All right, so back, let's do some more recapping of the things that he said. Due to the coronavirus outbreak, the government said they were ready, and clearly they weren't. And I'm sure they thought probably we have enough hospitals, which is not the case in Nigeria or anywhere in Africa that I'm aware of. But they said they were ready. So it makes us wonder, what exactly did they mean when they said they were ready? because the country seems to be falling behind in every single sector right now, and everybody seems to be suffering for it. It's clear that they didn't think about the educational ramifications of what the coronavirus quarantine will do. So they said they were ready. So we need to be able to do better. Those of you who are sitting at home listening to us today, especially those of you who are young, you might be in the position to make these decisions tomorrow. And you have to be determined to make sure that we don't make the same mistakes that those who are in charge today are making. We have to be able to do better. We have to be able to have foresight and completely and more holistically prepare for things like this. And I can only imagine what Nigerians will be capable of if we have the same access to digital education like the rest of the world. There are a lot of people who want to go to schools, but they cannot afford it. There are a lot of people who go to school and they just cannot understand because of the way things are being taught. And like he said if kids don't understand the way you teach, then you should change the way you teach to the way they learn. And this is part of what the internet phase is about, because on the internet, there's a lot of flexibility. You can always look for things to be done in a different way from the conventional methods. So we need to be able to do better in Nigeria by giving people more options online and making sure that every single curriculum and every single thing that we have for kids becomes digital. We cannot keep, just relying on things like Facebook and social media platforms to keep our kids engaged. We have to make things educational for them. So I don't know if we're going to get him back anytime soon. Our technical team is saying that it's like all hope is lost, and that's quite sad. I believe that we would have had a lot more if we could finish the show today, because I still have a lot more to talk to him about. But I think he was able to do justice to some of what we spoke of. And once again, we have a lot of books by DSA that can help to transform the way you think and can help to move Africa forward and Nigeria forward. Please get these books. They're on Amazon and they're on dsabooks.com. Please go there and get these books for yourself, read them, take notes, put action plans in place so that you will not just be yet another Nigerian complaining of problems, but you actually have answers. So we're going to keep trying to get him back in the next few minutes, and if we can't, then we'll have to end the show for today. But I believe that those of us who have listened, you learned something and you were able to have a little bit of insight into our educational system in Nigeria and in Africa at large. Any callers from Move Agents Medic? Okay, we don't have any callers. All right, so for those of you who don't know about this show, this is a special show that we have every Saturday. We discuss different topics that we believe that are important to the everyday life of Africans, of Christians all over the world, of Nigerians. So please join us same time next week and be expectant. Don't just listen, because we don't just want to talk. We don't just want to complain about problems. We want to be able to proffer solutions, because it's people who have solutions that rule the world. It's people who are able to walk their way through problems that end up winning in the end. And I believe that the future, Africa's future is bright, but we're not going to get into that future if we don't walk our way around these problems and we don't start by changing our mindset and changing our approach to things. A few days ago, I saw that our senators in Nigeria, our lawmakers, were having delivery of new cars, even in the midst of this chaos. So it's clear that the top brass or the elite class of Nigeria is well taken care of, but the rest of the country is left languishing and suffering. So we have to be able to do better for the everyday man, for the poor, for the sick. Our healthcare sector right now is suffering as well. I saw that a lot of people, private citizens, are stepping up, donating a lot of money, which is a good thing, but it's not enough. Every single person in Nigeria or in Africa has to become personally responsible and better than they are today. And I believe that that's something that we can accomplish in the near future. Hello, OLASUNKANMI, are you back? Hi, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
All right, so welcome back to to the show. The rain in Nigeria is really costing us a lot today because we would have used all of this time to really broke some, some new solutions to problems. But sadly, we'll have to just make do with what we have. All right, all hope is not lost. Welcome back. Can you hear me clearly?
I can hear you.
All right, so please go ahead. You were talking about, making use of the television, and you were also talking about how those who are writing their WAEC right now were being negatively impacted, but then we lost you. So please go ahead.
So those who are writing exam can still be reached with that method. Basically, that's what I'm saying. Let me just conclude it there. That the Ministry of Education, in collaboration with Ministry of Communication, can use the tool of communication in the country to reach to the students so that they will not just be at home without anything. They say half bread is better than none.
Yeah.
So, and going forward, maybe next time, of course, our Ministry of Education should do more in the aspect of facilities. Let's get facilities that are 21st century compliant now. Get a studio for each school in Nigeria. Train teachers to know how to handle this gadget. And I'm going to also, if permitted, use this opportunity to talk to teachers too on what they can do. I believe I can go ahead with that.
Oh yeah, you can. I was going to get to that because since I had spoken to you about what you taught and then I talked about the parents, the last group of people were going to be teachers themselves after the politicians.
All right. So while some of us have chosen not to wait for the leaders, even though we are out there now calling them that if they support us, we are not in heaven.
Hello. You're breaking up. Hello. Oh wow, we've lost
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. But you were breaking up.
Okay. The teacher's reward are in heaven, and I agree. Nobody can actually pay us for what we do. Only God can. I think that is the meaning for me. It's not that we should go to heaven and take our reward now, but only God can pay teachers.
But you guys, need to be taken care of. Are you sure you're not letting our leaders off the hook with that statement? Because you guys need to be properly taken care of, even if your reward is in heaven.
No matter the amount they pay us, no matter they should pay us millions, they cannot quantify our contribution to national building.
Oh yeah, I absolutely agree with you on that. That no amount of money is enough to, quantify your impact. But at the same time, they should pay you guys well, because you guys leave.
They should practice that. They should pay us well. Because that we have our heart out there for children. Please, for the sake of these children, I'm only appealing. For the sake of these children, you can use your phone to just record 1 or 2 lessons and post it on your Facebook. Some of us say about your friends. You can post it, please. I know the data is a problem too. You are paying, you've not been paid salary, you have been at home. Please, for the sake of our own children. Remember, you have children too. The children that you don't train today are going to become friends of the children that you train tomorrow. You can imagine the ripple effect. Don't let us wait for the government. While we call on them, please, in our own small way. And Dr. Josh.
Yeah.
I have a small initiative for teachers in Nigeria.
All right.
I have thrown 1 or 2 lessons out there for students to learn. But I discovered that some of them are calling me, how are you doing it? And I've opened it free to teachers. Let's come together on a WhatsApp group. If you check my Facebook group, you're still there. Come together. I will show you how I did something small, around 10 megabytes, and I posted it. And if data is the issue, we can as well assist you in a little way. Let's see how much you need that we're able to post that video lesson online. Just for the children to get something and then it to continue. So if you can get my Facebook account, you will see some of the things you've done there. You can reach out to us. Whatever assistance you can do,
we can assist one another. It's not for this country, it's not for the leaders, it's just because of our children. Let's say that at the back of our mind. It's just because of our children. So teachers we can come together and do little lessons and post it. You can even type 1 or 2 lessons on your Facebook account, on your Facebook page rather. Just type the lesson there and post it. In a way, 1 student, 2 students will come across this and will learn something. And while we wait for our leaders to also take responsibility.
All right. Let me help to amplify what you said because it was kind of breaking over there. But if I heard you correctly, you said you have a material that you've put together on your Facebook page that you believe will be able to help other teachers to be able to know what to do with their students online. Am I correct?
Yes.
Okay, so please go to his page, OPEIFA OLASUNKANMI. Just type that on Facebook and you see his picture. Please go to his page and engage with him. He's leading Nigerian teachers right now, so the best thing is to learn from him and understand the systems with which he's engaged with that are helping young people to learn better, and that is also helping him to reach them better. And I think that will go a long way to help. And he has also said that there will be help for those who have problem with the internet and don't have a lot of megabytes to be able to, watch or make big lessons. He will be able to put you through on that. So please engage with him on his page, OPEIFA OLASUNKANMI on Facebook. And I believe that will go a long way to help. And he has said that posting lessons, is great because just 1 or 2 kids will see it and it might help influence them. And when these kids know that you post lessons, they might actively begin to follow you because they will be hungry to learn and they will be willing to follow through and see what it is that their teachers are saying and what their teachers are actually doing. We all had favorite teachers in school and we always wanted to know what they were up to, even if we didn't have social media back then. But I believe that when teachers get engaged actively on social media, their kids, or at least some of them, will follow through and be able to get the lessons that are being taught. So is that a perfect depiction of what you were trying to pass across?
Perfect, sir. Thank you so much.
Oh, okay, that's great. So do you have any more initiatives to share?
Okay, that's all for now. When they come into, there's a WhatsApp group I've shared on that page. They should just join the WhatsApp group, and then from there we take it up and train and give the opportunities to those who desire it.
All right, so the WhatsApp number is on your Facebook page, am I correct?
Yes.
Oh, okay, that's great. So I wish we could continue, but
the link is there.
Okay, the link is on your Facebook page. All right, I wish we could continue, but your network is so bad and we can't really hear you. But it was really good having you online. Thanks for putting in the effort to try to be here with us today. We'll definitely have you back. And with this coronavirus quarantine, we don't know what the competition is going to look like in June. But we wish you all the very best, and we hope that you make it into the final 10. And by the time we're having you back next time, I hope we'll have more to celebrate. And we'll have a lot more ideas to share with Nigeria, with the young people, and we'll have more to, to give the world so that we can have a better Nigeria and a better educational system.
Thank you so much. I'm grateful, and I'm sorry for the bad network. I believe it will get better the next time.
Oh no, it's not your fault. You're the #1 teacher in Nigeria, and you're having network problems. We can't blame you. This is an infrastructure. This is an infrastructure problem, and we really hope that our leaders are watching and they will do something about this situation. Because if we can't go outside and we can't as well engage online as much as we want, we're losing on all sides. But we're optimistic and we trust that they will do better.
They are the same level.
You said?
I have 3 networks here, and none is giving me effective service.
Wow. So that means getting the package is not even enough when the quality that you're looking for is not available as well. Hello?
Hello, Mr. Joshua.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes.
All right. So please, any final word? And let's hope they can hear you before we go.
All right. My fellow teachers in Nigeria, I really appreciate our passion for our children. it has not really been easy in Nigeria here being a teacher at any level. That's why some of us we are taking solace in waiting for reward in heaven, actually. But this is a big call to our leaders too. It is obvious that we need to do a lot for our children. Let's remember, you have called us the leaders of tomorrow. They are actually the leaders of tomorrow. We have disappointed them enough. Let's wake up to responsibility and do something. Coronavirus holiday should not deter children from learning. Let's be apart with other people outside there. And for every teacher at this point that wants to reach out, I say God bless you. Together, let's take Nigeria to next level. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, OPEIFA, OLASUNKANMI. It was really great having you here with us. We hope to have you back next time. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for joining us on this show. We're very sorry that the network, didn't allow us to fully enjoy what it is that we had in store, but I believe that we learned something and we heard a lot that we can work with, and that will make a real difference in our lives and in the lives of our kids, and would make us to be able to maximize this quarantine period of the coronavirus. So we're not victims, we're victors. And we shouldn't look at this as a disadvantage as much as, unfortunately, some lives have been lost. But most of us are going to be coming out of this stronger and better if we put our minds to it and we decide that we want to make this a time of growth. We want to make this a time of reflection, of self-discovery, of, creative thinking and coming up with new ideas of how things can be done. And I believe that in our educational sector, that's possible, and in every sector across the board in Nigeria and in Africa. So take care of yourselves. We'll be here at the same time next week. And I hope and I trust that we'll have a better network connection. Please bear with us again today and take care of yourself. God bless you. I'm Joshua AMATARE coming to you from Kyiv. Have a great week and God bless.